YouTube world's first billionaire. और ये बहुत कम लोग जानते हैं.
My guest today is unstoppable.
Ranveer Allahbadia of Beer Biceps.
Ranveer Allahbadia, popularly known as Beer Biceps.
One of the country's biggest YouTube and podcast creators, Ranveer Allahbadia.
भारत की youth icon.
Please welcome Beer Biceps, Ranveer Allahbadia.
250 million views a month. Yes, you heard it right. Ranveer is generating 250 million plus views a month. And to match this number, it will take Dhruv Rathi's all 3 channels views and the Josh Talks all 15 channels views combined together. And still it will not match to the Ranveer's views. Now picture this, he's generating 250 million plus views a month. Not with roasting or kids content, but through podcast content, which is intellectual and most paid content on YouTube. So the question over here is, how does he surpassing the top creators and channels who gets 5 million plus views on their every video, while Ranveer only gets less than 1 million views on most of his videos? How only Ranveer is able to launch and succeed multiple businesses, while other creators like Dhruv Rathi, Bhuvan Bam, Ashish Chanchalani and even a Josh Talk were merely able to launch only 1 or 2 businesses. Despite of having a more subscribers and a huge social media following over the internet than Ranveer Allahbadia. And more importantly, how does these hundreds of millions of views are making him a freaking billionaire? So people, to know this, we need to understand the 4 pillars of Ranveer Allahbadia's ecosystem, by which he is becoming a freaking billionaire while no one is even able to make $100 million. People, Ranveer's audience isn't your average viewer. They are intellectual, informed, and internet mature people with high attention spans and not some mindless scrollers with low attention spans. Which means Ranveer's 1 million subscribers are like having a 3 million subscribers in categories like vlogs and entertainment. And people tend to cater this audience. Ranveer uploads hour plus long to even a 2.5 hour plus long videos on his main channels, Beer Biceps and Ranveer Allahbadia. And then he skillfully repurposes that hour plus long video into captivating multiple 6 to 18 minute clips for his clips channel and crispy 40 seconds to 1 minute shorts for his shorts channel. And cherry on the cake is, as it is the crispiest part of the main video, it results in both clips and shorts raking up millions of views. And this entire process creates his own content ecosystem on YouTube. So people, whether you are a shorts guy, clips guy or a podcast guy, Ranveer has something tailor-made for you. And the unique thing about Ranveer is,
मेरे लिए एक बहुत बड़ा एडवांटेज है कि मैं इंग्लिश में भी बोल पाता हूँ और हिंदी में भी बोल पाता हूँ. तो ये कोई ब्रांड्स के लिए बहुत बड़ी चीज़ होती है. बट जितना कम ब्रांड्स आपको एक कंटेंट क्रिएटर के नज़रिए से देखें, उतना ज़्यादा बेहतर है आपके लिए लॉन्ग टर्म में. और ये इसके रिजल्ट्स भी मैंने देखे.
and as he says, his Hindi-English bilingual audience makes him a hot favorite creator for brands looking to sponsor, because his viewers are goldmine for brands, and that's where his true value lies. With his main videos running for an hour plus long on his both channels, Beer Biceps and Ranveer Allahbadia, he smartly features 5 to 6 ads in that hour plus long video and 2 to 3 ads in 6 to 18 minute clips extracted from that same hour plus long video, along with crispy 40 seconds to 1 minute shorts, generating millions of views and getting into views.
Getting in the views. So YouTube AdSense revenue went up. When your views go up, obviously the amount you can charge for brand deals goes up, therefore your overall income of your organization goes up.
So ladies and gentlemen, this is how he turns one piece of content into money-making machine, all while he sits in a room asking questions and reaping rewards. And people, as his videos stretch from 60 to 120 minutes plus long, his devoted audience spends significant amount of time listening to his videos. And this is the perfect setup for converting his recommendations into product purchases. And this is where his true influence shines, attracting big brands for sponsorship. As we have seen with Ajio's recent sponsorship of his podcast, TRS, as a title sponsor.
First ever brand partnership for a self-produced Indian podcast, TRS, is now. Ajio presents TRS.
And as we talk about brand sponsorships and money, our man Ranveer Allahbadia is spread across all social media platforms with a combined following of 25 million plus, which includes 4 million plus followers on Instagram, 546 plus on Twitter, 900k plus on LinkedIn, and a whopping 19 million plus on YouTube across his all YouTube channels.
Be present across all social media platforms. I don't think there's too many people even now who are spread across social media platforms. Keep in mind, even LinkedIn brand deals pay well, Twitter brand deals pay well, YouTube obviously pays incredibly well, Instagram also pays well, but more importantly, it pays you often. So we had more time and width to make more money, a wider brand. We are present everywhere.
And when you are present everywhere with such a massive online following,
Social media. If you have a powerful social media presence, you will be able to launch businesses much more easily. You will be able to attract many more career opportunities. And hell, even if you're a CEO running a B2B business or a business whose customers are other businesses, you'll be able to help your company just by selling yourself online. Online presence creates trust, especially if you're creating thought-provoking content, especially if you have a dedicated podcast audience.
yes, online presence creates trust. And when you do something big outside of social media, then
And finally, when you do something big outside of social media, it actually impacts your social media numbers. But more importantly, it creates a buzz in the PR world, in the world of journalists, in the world of people who would regularly not be on YouTube. There's a lot of people out there because of all the newspaper articles we featured in, the magazine articles we featured in. Now, those people have never seen YouTube videos or seen us on Instagram, but they know we exist and we're social media entrepreneurs. Great example of that is all the fantastic minds I've met on Twitter. They just know me as a social media entrepreneur. Very good branding, fantastic branding helps us to charge more for brands because we know the kind of impact we're bringing to a brand when we do a brand deal. So that allows you to make more money, basically.
so people basically Ranveer makes more money in a business which is low production cost business. Yeah, yes, podcast is a low production cost business where you need nothing more than a mic, chair, room, camera, and a guest. No need to change the setup for every video like Mr. Beast. But you make a ton of money unlike anything in podcast.
Because that's the beginning of going from lakhs to going to crore. Power of voice. India has 500 to 700 million people who'll join the internet over the next 5 to 10 years. People in the remotest villages of India who've never seen a television in their life will now jump directly onto the internet. Not many of them even know how to type, but they'll all be using the power of voice. Radio is already a huge part of Indian culture. Indians love voice, they love audio. Radio will evolve into something else in the same way that watching television evolved into consuming YouTube videos. That's the power of voice going forward. Not just in India, but all over the world. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, they're all launching voice-based features. Voice is the future.
And as voice is the future, Ranveer is crushing it on voice-based platforms as his both podcasts, the TRS and TRS Hindi, are the #1 podcast on Spotify and on other voice-based platforms such as Amazon Music and Apple Podcasts. And people, Ranveer is strategically leading the game of voice market by creating a evergreen content which will be consumed even 100 years from now.
The first piece of strategy I had in my head was evergreen content that'll be relevant even 100 years from now. This strategy worked. When we began, we saw a major drop in views. Many of our episodes wouldn't even get 50k views. Now those same episodes are climbing in terms of views. They're getting discovered by the right audiences at the right time.
And by cleverly leading the game of podcast, he has positioned himself as a monopoly on world's top 2 most dominant platforms in both medium, audio and video. Spotify in audio and YouTube in a video.
Solidified the Ranveer Show as the top independently created podcast in the country.
Ranveer owns Monkey, India's top talent management, influencer marketing and a video production agency, which has onboarded brands like.
But you guys have done some incredible work with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Priyanka Chopra, Alia Bhatt, Mumbai Indians, the NBA.
But also just working with a lot of these other biggies, like big brands like Manchester City, NBA, folks like Priyanka Chopra.
And along with brands, Monkey represents top mainstream star creators of India across every major category like Flying Beast, Abhi and Neo, Niharika Yenyam and Yashraj Mukhate. And they are not limited to YouTubers only, they also manages to Bollywood celebrities like Radhika Bangia and Niharika Yenyam and many more.
कौन कौन से सेलिब्रिटीज को मैनेज कर रहे हैं अभी आप?
बहुत सारे इंस्टाग्रामर्स हैं, यूट्यूबर्स हैं, पर हम बहुत सारे सेलिब्रिटीज़ के साथ काम करते हैं. वी वर्कड विद all of Bollywood. We have worked with all of YouTube as well. We have worked with cricket. We have worked with Bollywood.
And as they have worked with top creators, they are very selective when it comes to onboard someone on Monkey.
टैलेंट मैनेजमेंट एजेंसी में भी एक पार्टनरशिप सिस्टम होता है कि हम जब टैलेंट्स को सिलेक्ट कर रहे होते हैं मंक एंटरटेनमेंट के लिए, हम उनका पोटेंशियल देखते हैं कि इनका करियर कितना दूर जाएगा और यूट्यूब के अलावा, इंस्टाग्राम के अलावा ये क्या कर पाएंगे, एक्टिंग में एंटर कर पाएंगे या बिजनेसेस बना पाएंगे. बेसिकली उनका प्लान बी क्या है. एंड बहुत सारे क्रिएटर्स के प्लान बी नहीं होते.
And that is why they select talent very selectively who has plan B. And people, according to Ranveer, there are only 3 possible ways for creators to go beyond YouTube and create something big which will turn their following into fortune.
So I'll give you all a very transparent truth about YouTubers in this country. There's one of 3 possible career trajectories that you can get through YouTube, all right? The first one is to become a film actor. The second career trajectory you can go on is a production house. You can provide video content and social media services for other people. The third trajectory is products. And that's how Mr. Beast has become a billionaire. He's basically launched something called Beast Burgers that's now competing with McDonald's in America. And it's gradually expanding into Europe, Canada, other Western countries. That's the business model that YouTubers and social media stars can aim to go down.
And this brings us to the big game. Ranveer and Viraj is playing here in Monkey. So people soon, creators like Radhika Bangia and Niharika Yenyam, who have already cracked the code and made their entry into Bollywood, will become even more popular, expanding their reach and distribution. And by leveraging their strong online presence and popularity, they will launch their product lines such as beauty care products, clothing lines, or even a FMCG brand, or whichever fits best according to their audience. Just like King has launched his perfume brand from the world of Bollywood. So yes, with Monkey's business acumen and expertise, Monkey will handle the business side, as Ranveer has already figured out how to launch a creator-backed brands, just like Raj Shamani has did with his new startup, House of X. And people, as Monkey has creators across every major category, be it a vlogging, entertainment, infotainment, cooking, or even a finance, and a ton of niches which we can imagine of. So soon, these creators from each category niche will also launch their products with Monkey, which will turn their imaginations into reality. As one of Monkey's creator, Your Food Lab, had already launched a product in cooking category.
2 दिन पहले YFL होम की शुरुआत की है. हमने अपना YFL होम का सबसे पहला मिक्सर ग्राइंडर, सबसे पहला अप्लायंस ब्लेंड लैब प्रो लॉन्च किया. तो आपको बहुत बड़ा थैंक यू बोलना है. आपने इतने ह्यूज नंबर्स में से ऑर्डर किया है, इतना प्यार दिखाया, इतना ट्रस्ट दिखाया. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर दैट. माई हार्ट इज़ फुल ऑफ ग्रैटिट्यूड. ब्लेंड लैब प्रो इज़ जस्ट द बिगनिंग ऑफ YFL होम. और हम बहुत सारे प्रोडक्ट्स पे ऑलरेडी काम कर रहे हैं. Some of which you all have been waiting for from a long time. The Blend Lab Pro.
So people, just imagine a huge opportunity to make a ton of money making Monkey a unique agency. So Ranveer has pool of creators, brands and a media agency to make unimaginable money through multiple ways out of this. And additionally, he owns Big Brain Co.
Start a production house with Manish, which is called Big Brain right now. And we're growing. It's a services business as well. But the long-term goal is documentary filmmaking, etc., etc.
And it completes the entire ecosystem of Ranveer Allahbadia. And people, the crazy part is Monkey and Big Brain Co. are functioning on their own. Which means Ranveer don't need to spend much time focusing on Monkey and Big Brain Co. But think what? Money keeps coming in every month. And people, cherry on the cake is Monkey and Big Brain Co. both are bootstrap businesses. Which means Ranveer and his co-founders are the sole owners, and every dollar earned goes straight into their pockets. And by looking at Monkey's overall positioning in the world of media, we can say that Monkey's worth is in tens of millions of dollars, if not hundreds of millions of dollars, as Monkey's competitors worth hundreds of millions of dollars according to transaction. But right now you might be saying, that's all okay, Piyush. He has positioned himself in a bestest best position available in the world of media, and he's already making millions of dollars. Because his podcast, Monkey and Big Brain Co. are not going to make him a billionaire in the next 10 years. So people, as I mentioned in the start of video, to understand how YouTube and hundreds of millions of views are making Ranveer Allahbadia a billionaire, first we need to understand the 4 pillars of his billion-dollar play. And people, as we have understood the 3 pillars of his billion-dollar play, now we are completely ready to understand the 4th pillar of his strategy. And people, believe me, this 4th pillar will alone make Ranveer Allahbadia a billionaire without even his other businesses. And people, as it is a billion-dollar play, we need to understand it minutely. And that is why I have created a special dedicated video to deep dive into that business of Ranveer Allahbadia, which is making him a freaking billionaire.